It's time for Rabbi Minkowicz's Weekly Torah Lesson, a place where life's most difficult questions are answered. Here with his spiritual perspective and insight, Rabbi Minkowicz.
Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha Shemini. The question of the week is, what is the sign of a great person? So in this week's Torah portion, Parsha Shemini, we learn about the tragic event that took place on the 8th day of the dedication of the temple, where Aaron, the high priest, his two sons, Nadav and Avihu, brought a strange fire, as the Torah calls it, into the temple, and the fire consumed them. They died. Here, tremendous drama takes place. Aaron, the high priest, two sons die. Right away, Moshe Rabbeinu came in with the instruction of God, what should be done, how they should be removed, and how the procedure in the temple should continue on, and he gave Moshe gave Aaron specific instructions. Moshe Rabbeinu comes back into the temple, and he gives a look and he sees that out of the sacrifices, there were those that Aaron brought up on the altar the way it should have been brought up, and there was one that should have, in theory, been brought up on the altar in normal circumstance, and Aaron went ahead and burnt it. Totally. So Moshe Rabbeinu comes to Aaron and says, Aaron, what'd you do? Why'd you go ahead and burn the sacrifice? So Aaron tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe, my brother, I understand, you're correct. All the special sacrifices that were unique to this day, we did it as planned because it's unique. However, the sacrifice which is brought continually every single month, and it's going to always be brought, those we have many times to redo it again, and those were consumed as per God's instruction. And Moshe Rabbeinu realized, oh my gosh, Aaron, you're right. And here comes a profound thing. The Torah tells us, Vayishma Moshe Rabbeinu hears what Aaron says, and it says, Vayitav b'einav, and it was good in his eyes. Which Vayitav b'einav is an interesting expression. What does it mean it was good in his eyes? So Rashi explains that Moshe Rabbeinu, who is Moshe Rabbeinu, he was the leader of the Jewish people. He is the one that learned directly from God. He's the one that went up to God. He's the one that knew the whole Torah. He's the one that taught everyone the Torah. He realized he made a mistake. And Aaron was correct. So he had two choices. He could have said, Aaron, you're wrong and I'm right. He didn't do that. He could have said, oh yeah, you're right, I forgot. Yeah, you're right, I forgot. He didn't say that. The Rashi said he did two things. One is hoida, he admitted, but not only did he admit and put his head down quietly, he got up and made a public statement, and he said to everyone, I want you to know, I did not hear it this way. And Aaron is right. So in other words, what is Rashi saying? Moshe Rabbeinu, that could have stood there quietly and try to quiet the embarrassment or dull out the embarrassment. No. If he was wrong, he did two things. He admitted that he was wrong, and he made a public announcement, which allowed each and every one person that was there, and each and every one of us today that learned this, to have the strength and the power to be able to say when we're wrong, to admit that we're wrong, and to make a public proclamation that we are wrong and say that we are 100% wrong. So to answer the question, what is the sign of a great person? The sign of a great person is someone like Moshe Rabbeinu, we each can be, to stand up, admit our faults when need be, and to make a public acknowledgement that we are wrong. This week's Torah lesson was dedicated to the memory of Baruch ben Aryeh Leib and Shlomo Ben Yosef. May their souls be elevated by this Torah we're studying in their memory. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. For more information about Chabad, please see our website.